Kagekid Creative presents
Kagekids Kitchen, Kagekids Kitchen. Kagekids Kitchen, Kagekids Kitchen. Kagekids Kitchen, Kagekids Kitchen. Kagekids Kitchen, Kagekids Kitchen. Hi, my name is James, aka Kagekid, and you are watching my show, Kagekids Kitchen. This is the 7th episode, which is our soups episode, and today we are going to be making a corn chowder. I'm joined today with these two wonderful people. We have Carson over here, and we have Sarah, and thank you guys so much for coming to my show today.
Thank you for having us. I'm super excited. I'm ready to eat.
Yes.
James makes amazing food, so this is glorious.
Yes. All right, so the next lesson that we're going to do for Kagekids Kitchen is soups. And I think soups is a pretty good lesson considering right now we have really cold weather outside and it's a really nice meal for you to eat outside while you're trying to keep nice and warm, trying to keep nice and comfy in your quarantine space and do all of that stuff. When we learn soups in school, we learn about all of the classifications of soup, whether they're hot soups, cold soups, blended soups, chunky soups, so we get to learn it all. Corn chowder is one of my own favorite soups. I learned that you have never had corn chowder.
I've never had corn chowder. I've had clam chowder, but I have never had corn chowder, so I'm very excited for this.
Yes, awesome. And you?
I eat. Take that how you want. Ooh, baby.
So the very first thing that we're going to do for our corn chowder is we're going to start by making our soup base, which is what allows our soup to get extra thick as we are making our soup. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to cook through our aromatics, which is our garlic and our onion, so that they can be nice and soft for the soup as well.
Keep in mind, we're gonna make this baby thick. Not just like triple C's thick. Q-U-E. Prepare some.
T-H-I-Q-U-E thick. The very first thing that we're gonna do over here, we're gonna put this olive oil right into the pan. Get sure it's nice and heated. So I'm gonna hand you the onions, and I'm gonna hand you the garlic. So at the same time, with whatever ways you want to put it, all of this goes in it. So you guys can put it all in
Our
there.
powers combined.
We are Captain Planet!
Captain Lesbo! We are. Honestly, I'm 100% gay for Sarah.
Captain Lesbo, she's a hero.
Oh my goodness.
Where's the haha?
Ooh, baby.
Average goods is good goods.
Ooh, baby. So, the very first step is cooking down the aromatics until they're nice and translucent. You want to do that for about 1 to 2 minutes or so.
It already smells good.
Aromatics every time. I'm actually working on a full version of Kagekids Kitchen, and that was the last.
Garlic and onions.
The last line I wrote about was aromatics.
Nice.
Garlic and onions are just like a nice way to finesse everything. If you don't know how to cook, add some garlic and onions.
For the Dominicans that don't know what aromatics is, we call that sofrito.
Con un chin de sazón. Un chin.
Here we go. It's sizzling. Let's go, baby.
And the next thing that we're going to do once our aromatics are nice and cooked down is we're going to add in our flour so that we can make this into a roux. Make it thick.
Make it
Q-U-E. Slowly. A little more.
How many you want me to?
You're doing perfect.
all of it, right?
So you want to add in the flour so that it's, you want to add it nice and slow so that it gets nice and incorporated in there. And you can see that as you add more flour, it's slowly starting to thicken up right into the bottom of the pan.
Did you know that this is actually how I season all my food?
Really?
Like literally, I don't use measuring spoons or measuring cups or anything. I just,
It'd be like that sometimes.
honestly.
Big facts.
But that's how it ends up being delicious.
Like I always say, for the actual purpose of the show, I measure things out, but when I am by myself,
Thick me.
thick man.
That was nice and fluffy.
Yeah.
Cool. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to slowly add in our vegetable stock right onto the roux.
No, it's upgraded.
It is up
It's Sarah brand.
Extra thick.
Extra.
Bad bitch episode.
Extra thick kitchen, extra thick kitchen. Extra thick kitchen, extra thick kitchen. So same thing with the vegetable stock. We are slowly adding it in just so that the roux can actually become incorporated into it. You want to get it slowly incorporated into there just so that it's not.
Got it.
Thank you, Mom.
You're welcome. Wait, we can totally ghost this. Hold up. Oh my love. My darling. I felt for your.
The's so much going on in this episode.
I don't know what to focus on, to be honest with you. Like, there's a beautiful roux happening, and then there's this.
My life.
Just think
I prayed for someone like
Just
you.
you.
I'll be fine, 'cause I finally made roux. All my life, I pray to make roux with you, and I pray that you still make roux too. That's beautiful.
That's my literal one thing I care about in this whole entire show is that facts of food are actually getting out to the people. Literally anything that happens with anything that goes on the show, I'm like, as long as the food gets made and you guys learn something, I really don't care what actually goes on the show.
So you don't care if we remix Boys to Men in the middle of the episode?
I don't care if you remix Boys to Men in the middle of the episode. Please remix as many songs as you'd like to go along with the recipe that I am cooking. Because that's all I want.
You basically gave Sarah a paddle.
You can't pretend like you don't like this idea.
I love this.
I know you
idea.
do.
What are you talking about?
It's not your first time with a paddle, it was
I
Sarah.
can paddle as many things as you need me to. Just give me your consent, baby.
Sign the contract.
corn
Sign the
chowder-
contract.
corn chowder has your
Pay her
consent.
subscription.
The corn chowder has my
The
consent.
corn chowder has your
We're about
consent.
to teach you some things.
This corn chowder has no idea what it just signed up for.
Ooh, baby.
Stand up to be thick.
Wait, tag team.
Alrighty, so as our roux is thickening up with our veggie stock, the next thing that we are going to actually do is we're going to add in a little bit of dry white wine right to the mix. We're gonna cook all the alcohol out, but we still want that dry white wine flavor in there. It's gonna add a little bit of crispness, but also it's gonna bring together the flavor of the chowder as well.
I might need a little glassy glass with this.
Say less, sis.
I'm trying to get lit.
The very last thing we're going to do while we let this simmer for quite a bit of time is just to add in these potatoes over here. And these are, oops, still some water in there. These are just regular white potatoes, nothing crazy, nothing special. I cut them down into a 1/4 inch piece like this. And I'm gonna add them right into there. With a little bit of that starch water from the potatoes as well.
What does the starch do to the rest of the mix?
It'll help to thicken up the sauce a little more. And the potatoes themselves, they're good just to balance out everything in the chowder as well. We're gonna let these potatoes simmer for about 20 minutes, and then we will come back to checking them and see how they are doing. Now that our potatoes are nice and soft, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add in the rest of our vegetables into our pot. We have some corn, some jalapenos, and we also have some peppers, which I guess is technically fruits and vegetables. So I'm going to hand you the peppers. In here we have 3 different types of corn. We have sweet corn, we have regular corn, and we also have creamed corn. I'm going to give this over to you. You guys can add that in at the same time. I am going to add in the jalapenos at the same time.
Baby, let's go.
Alright, I'm going to give this a quick stir.
I'm very excited.
The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add in our evaporated milk into the mix. It's very important to know that the evaporated milk is already heated up. You never want to add cold liquid to a hot liquid. It literally breaks apart in there and it usually turns out ending up disgusting. So never add cold liquids to hot liquids.
That is good to know.
Kage facts.
Right after we add our cream to our corn chowder, I'm also going to add in this cornstarch base syrup. It's literally just cornstarch and water mixed together. This is going to thicken up the soup just a little bit more as well.
What happens if you add that in there without water?
If I add it in here without water, you'll get the clumps of cornstarch, and it leaves that like clumpy consistency. You still can thicken up the actual soup with it, but it takes a lot longer. This should be boiling, all sorts of other things. But if you add in warm liquid into this with the cornstarch, it seamlessly goes into whatever you're trying to thicken up.
She really soda. Hydration Nation.
Hydration Nation.
Hydration Nation!
Oh, it smells so good.
Thank you, I showered.
Do you guys want to know something funny about corn? Corn is actually not digestible by your body. It actually goes right in and out, and literally, if you ever pay attention to your poop when you eat corn,
When you corn.
Alright, so the very last thing that we're going to do is we are going to add in our seasonings. The reason why I add in our seasonings all the way at the end, if you notice I didn't really add seasonings throughout any of this process, you definitely can. I just feel like when you add seasonings at the very beginning of a soup, literally the seasonings impart into it, and it doesn't really taste as fresh as when you like add salt, pepper, and paprika, which is what we're gonna add at the very beginning, where it kind of infuses into it, where I kind of want it to be a flavor flavor addition to everything that is going on here. So I will, this is salt and white pepper.
Sorry, I was too into myself.
It's okay.
No.
And this is paprika, and then we are going to add that right into the pot. You can add all of it if you like. Yes!
I fucks with it.
I also mess with it.
We're obviously different people.
And then we're gonna give this one last stir, and once all of our seasonings are nice and imparted, it is now time to eat. So today, we are sponsored by this wonderful Frontera wine that I used today in our corn chowder. Just kidding. Just like always, we're never sponsored by it. Alright, you guys ready to dig in?
I've been ready.
As
you can see.
I've been ready.
it's a lot more fresh compared to what I thought it would be. I like it.
But Sarah, what happened to you over there? Oh, Sarah's in the world.
Heard you.
Yes.
How do you feel, Sarah?
Yes.
Comforted. I'm lost.
Honestly, this is everything I would want a sancocho to be. Minus the meat.
This is really nice. It's really nice. It's really comforting on a really, really cold day. Like if I wanted to curl up with a book, this would be what I want. It's really good.
I can eat this all the time.
So did you know it's a thing that if you start sweating, that means it's really good?
Wait, I have never heard that before.
These are from Mom Chronicles.
Catch the food sweats.
Yes.
I learned something new today.
Mm.
Maybe this is why I always sweat when I eat spicy. Because the food is never like spicy to me. And Sarah can tell you the millions of stories I have eating spicy food.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, I have like.
We once went to go get ramen, and they had an option for what they called their like fire ramen, and it might as well have been like a bowl of blood, is what it came out looking like. And he needed some noodles for his ramen because it was wild. And James started sweating in the middle of eating it. I guess that's how hot it was.
Drenched.
As you should.
But it wasn't because of the spiciness. But I don't know, now that you're telling me about these food sweats.
Food sweats.
When something is really good, your body just can't help but sweat.
I learned something new today. The more you know. Alright guys, so how is your 2021 going so far?
I'm ready to beat people up.
You ready to beat people? Oh yes, our dominant Kiwi over here.
I've been on a little hiatus, but I'm back and ready.
Ooh, baby.
Honestly, this is a great year. I would say more.
No, please, say more.
Honestly, I am the opposite of Sarah. I want to get beaten. I'm fucking ready. Get my back blown out. Everything.
Also, James, I just want to say I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of how far your channel's coming and how far you're getting in your career. Like, I'm happy that I got to do this with you.
Thank you. It's a lot of work.
It's delicious.
Yeah, but you can only go up from here.
That's true. I am trying my hardest to only improve, and I do have a lot of things planned for this year, and no one is ready, not even myself.
Honestly, words that I live by.
The potato is my favorite part about the corn chowder.
What do you like about the potato, though?
That's a broad question.
Oh, baby. Just for a little bit of context here, I actually call Sarah a potato. Or actually, sorry, let me fix that.
I call myself a potato
Sarah?
very often, and James is always giving me names for fancy potatoes so that he can boost up the fact that I am a potato. Which, you know what? I have finally reached the point in my life where I'm like, there is absolutely nothing wrong with being a potato, because you can turn it into so many different things. It's a clutch food. I just happen to be a patat.
So everybody loves patatas.
Everybody loves patats.
You're a patat and I'm a patat.
Okay, also, I just want to run off camera with this real quick.
Please eat the food as you would like to.
I'm trying to be polite.
And also, I
There's
was
an audience, but you know, also.
I
Listen.
literally drank from the bottle. You have a whole thing of me just drinking straight from the bottle. You're welcome.
Sarah, please don't run off the camera with the chowder. Please enjoy the chowder. Tell me the emotions that you are feeling right now with the cold chowder.
Comforted. I feel like I am at home curled up on a nice comfy chair with a blanket around me, watching my favorite movie. Yes.
Watching Steven.
Yes.
The part where Steven is on his way to the zoo and he like light bends to the planet and he thinks that he killed all the gems because they're just in their gem room.
It's hot.
Well then.
That's why we wear layers.
Exactly.
I can't. What are your goals for 2021?
Honestly, I really want to blow up Bad Bitch Wednesday.
Tell us about Bad Bitch Wednesday and what
Alright,
it's
so
all
boom.
about.
2020. 2020 was a very, obviously everyone knows it was a very stressful year. I hit my lowest in terms of confidence. I really hated myself. Honestly, I did not like looking at myself in the mirror. I was very depressed. And then I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, hold up, wait a second, you cute, boo. So I always dedicate one day out of the week to do something small just to make myself feel good. And it started with earrings, it started with makeup. Now I'm a bad bitch every day. Every day. And I wear whatever the fuck I want because I know I look good in it, regardless. But I keep it specifically Bad Bitch Wednesday so that way everyone else can participate. So it doesn't matter what it is. Painting your nails, putting on makeup, putting on earrings, wearing your favorite perfume. Do it consistently. And then it'll just happen every day. And then now, I am the most confident I've ever been.
As you should be.
It's nice. It's really nice. It makes a big difference. And honestly, this year, it's a big reason why I'm so fucking happy. I'm so happy. Because it's all in here, baby.
And for those of you who would like to participate in Bad Bitch Wednesdays, it's very, very simple. You upload a picture of yourself, and just in case you don't want to be calling yourself a bad bitch on social media or anything like that, there's
The
also
inclusivity. Wonderful woman. Fabulous person. And let's not forget the boppin' boppies. Let's get it. Let's go. And tag me at my dear wallflower.
You also do not have to wear your baddest outfit.
You don't. You can be in your pajamas.
You can be in your pajamas and post whatever selfie you want as long as you feel good in that moment. And that is the purpose of Bad Bitch Wednesday.
You can wear it all. You can wear nothing at all. Whatever. The world
And it is
your
a challenge.
oyster.
When you're feeling your least confident is when you should take this photo.
yes.
Honestly, yes. And at the end of it, you say, you know what? I'm a bad bitch.
Or a poppin' poppy.
Period.
What about you, Sarah? Are you trying to make a giant conglomerate movement with the dominatrix?
Tune in.
Heard
My
you,
goals
please.
for this year, love myself a little more. Because I've been doing a lot of loving of everybody else and not enough for myself. And honestly, I think I'm getting there slowly. I'm finally in a better place, but I still have a lot to work on. And I need to put myself first this year because if the last 3 years of my life have taught me anything, it's that I do way too much for a lot of people and that don't always end up appreciating it at the end, and the only person that loses is me. So, it's my time.
I feel that.
It's my time.
I think the mood for this year is self-love, self-care.
Exactly. Self-love, self-care, especially after 2020. Everybody needs some more self-love and self-care.
100%. And if you don't love you, boo, I love you. That's all that matters.
Yes. Amazing. Okay, so last question. What are your final thoughts on the food after enjoying the whole dish?
You're coming home with me. You're cooking for me forever.
We gotta cook more often together. I missed it.
Same.
The chicken you made on the camping trip that you drowned in butter.
I did. I made a nice butter chicken and I just used whatever seasonings we happen to have available. Let it marinate for about a day actually, and then we just cooked it over the fire and it was dope. James and I accidentally once made So's chicken pizza.
We had none of the ingredients.
Nope. What happened was, James was really in the mood for So's chicken, but I really wanted pizza. And then we decided that to buy both of these items would be too much money, even though a slice was like $1. I don't know what happened. And we went to the store, we bought like pizza dough and we bought like chicken, and then realized we didn't have anything else for any of the ingredients. So we substituted a lot, baked it, but it still somehow came out banging. It was so good. It was so good. And that was one of the happy accidents that we had.
That is one of the happy accidents. I don't feel like we ever had bad cooking accidents in the kitchen.
All of our recipes that we've ever done impromptu have never had any actual recipe paste. It was just, what do we have in the house? Let's throw it in a pot and see what happens.
This is General So's chicken pizza.
Yes.
Get the fuck out of here. Somewhere the Chinese and the French are declaring war on Kagekid.
Listen, it was delicious. Picture a regular chicken pizza, except it's So's chicken.
It's General So's chicken.
And it was and instead of having like the marinara sauce, it was the So sauce on top. It was delicious.
It was very good.
It was delicious.
We didn't have like, we had soy sauce. We didn't have like, I think the recipe called for molasses, which we didn't have. It called for like brown sugar.
Molasses.
We had like, it called for like something, it's called for something citrusy that we also didn't have, which we replaced with
It called
orange
for really
juice.
random stuff for like tahini. Like tahini. And unless you're cooking something very specific, you probably don't have tahini in your kitchen.
Honestly, Sarah's spicy mac and cheese yesterday.
I'm happy that I encouraged you to cook it in Sarah's way. Because
Betty, chef kiss, legit.
We didn't have anything to eat yesterday. All we had was like mac and cheese. And I was like, how do I finesse this real quick? And I just started throwing whatever I could find in the pot. And they loved it. And that's all that matters.
Honestly, yeah.
big facts. For those of you who don't know, which is probably nobody because I'm terrible with talking about my personal life on the social medias, Sarah is one of my closest friends. We've been friends for 13 years. We've had lots of adventures together. Actually, it's been longer.
It's been longer. 16 years.
16 years.
16
I think
years.
I've become accustomed to saying 13 years.
Mhm.
And I guess it's been 3 years since I've been active.
I met James when I was 12 years old, and we were altar servers, hilariously enough. I used to be a very Catholic schoolgirl, and look at me now.
Baby.
Talking about dildos that lay eggs inside of you.
What's it called again?
The Splurge. Google it. It's non-sponsored. I just like it.
Ooh, baby. Yes, we've had lots of adventures in our 16 years of friendship. Lots of cooking, lots of excellent cooking times. Lots of times that I can get into otherwise. And Carson and I have been friends for 4 years?
I want to say 2016, so like
5 years. Yeah.
We went on an adventure for sushi and drinks. We ironically ended up running into James and another friend at the same area that we were hanging out in. They invited us over, and honestly, we've been friends ever since.
Friends ever since. Seamless.
To be fair, once you're friends with me, there is no getting.
Ooh, baby. I want to thank both of you guys for coming on to my 7th episode of Kagekid's Kitchen.
Thank you for letting us
having me.
A very, very bad bitch at vibes episode. My new episode of the new year. I'm very, very excited. I hope that you guys have learned a lot. I hope you've enjoyed all of this, because I know it's a lot. But this is also my life, so. Huh?
Heard you, baby.
Heard.
Heard you. You want some peppers?
I hope you learned a lot, and peace.
Potato for you. Oh, baby.
Thank you guys again for joining me on my 7th episode of Kagekid's Kitchen. I also want to do another special thank you to both Sarah and Carson who were here for me for my episode. I hope that you learned a lot on how to make corn chowder and soups in general. Feel free to follow me at all of my social media. I have a link that has all of my social media grouped together on one page. It is solo.to/Kagekid Creative. And on that page you can literally find my Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, my support page, which has my Patreon, a link to my Cash App and Venmo, and it also has my Patreon that you can also follow, all sorts of other things as well. My website, Kagekid Creative, is kind of under construction right now, but you can definitely feel free to give it a look. It has a little bit of everything that I do so that you can check me out there as well. Thank you guys again for watching this episode, and peace.
No, I want to know what model dildo you want. That's what the people really want to know.
The splorge. It comes with a gelatin mode and it lays eggs inside of you.
I knew that was the one she was going to.
It lays eggs inside of you?
Yes, for
When I
those
tell
of
you
you
that shit is massive.
for those of you that are into xenomorphs, this is an education. So you can fit a bottle about this big into it and it'll lay inside of you if that's what you're into. But otherwise it comes with a gelatin mode that is very food safe. You just have to deal with the fact that you have gelatin eggs in your stuff, and when you're in the mood, you know, you just insert, lay your eggs and then hatch them, baby. Like, that's it.
I wish I could get your face out. Now, when they come out, does it make like a noise?
It depends on how tight you are. If you're super tight,
I'm on camera. I'm on camera.
it's called the splorge. Look it up, guys.
The splorge?
I'll make that noise again.